Happy Friday, Mayor Dan Pope with a weekly update. I want to look forward to next week's council meeting next Tuesday afternoon. In our work session, we'll talk about three things that I think you might find interesting. One is street maintenance. I know we talked a bit about it last week in the video, but we'll be talking about what we'll be doing this year with street maintenance. Once again, more than $9 million in cash, no debt, to taking care of our streets in this fiscal year. We'll also talk about the Gateway Streets, Gateway Enterprise Fund. It was set up 15 years plus or minus ago by the council. It's 40% of our franchise fees go to this. We've used it to fund street development, work we've done on North Slide, work that we've done on Upland, Erskine. It's a lot of the way we've stayed ahead of some of our population growth. And so we'll talk about that also. We'll finally also talk about the census, the 2020 census. We have to have a census committee locally, and we'll get a briefing on that, and we'll be dealing with that a little bit later this spring. The legislative session seems to have gotten full swing in Austin. You've probably read a bit about the House Bill 2, Senate Bill 2, the property tax reform bills. We're also looking forward to some school finance bills that should come out maybe in the next week or so. They sort of work in tandem. Certainly, I think we all would like to pay less property tax. We look forward to being part of those discussions with our legislative delegation, with the other folks in Austin, and try to find a way to still provide the services that you expect, public service being job one. Also be able to take care of our streets, take care of our neighborhoods, our parks, our libraries, but at the same time do it in a cost-effective manner, efficient manner. And I think that's what we've been about since the day I started running for this job 2.5 years ago. So more to come on that, but I've had a number of you have asked me about it. Two more things quickly. One, last year, per the Texas workforce numbers, we created 4,500 net new jobs in Lubbock. That's a great indicator of how strong our economy is. That's about 3% growth. I think things continue to be very healthy in Lubbock. Finally, you may have seen the report. It was in the Lubbock paper today. It was I think bank rate. Somebody studied commute times around the country, and they said that I think of the 100 largest cities, that Lubbock had the lowest commute time of any of them. It was not a surprise to me, probably not to many of you. We're 19 minutes less daily, not a week, but daily, than the average commute time. I may have a little more fun with this next week. I might pull some stats out, but think about 19 minutes. Let's round that up to 20 minutes. That's 100 minutes a week. That's what's that? Nearly 2 hours a week. Run that out to 50 weeks. We'll let you take vacation for 2 weeks. Think about the ball games you make for your kids. Think about the getting home to make sure you're at dinner with your family, or maybe getting 9 holes in the summer after work. Think about the quality of life we have, and we take for granted our transportation infrastructure and the fact that it's easy to get around in our community. It's one of the great parts about living in Lubbock, Texas. I'll quit preaching. I appreciate all of you and your prayers, your good ideas. I look forward to talking to you next week.